Okay, so that's it. We've started. So I'm really glad that you've joined. I'm happy to welcome people. I can see stuff going on in the chat. Oh, procrastination's terrible. Somebody said the other day, it shouldn't be in your vocabulary, but it is, because we all suffer from different things at times. So Jack has introduced himself in the chat. As I say, he is a team member, a very valued team member of ours, and Jack is going to be managing, letting people in and helping you with any questions that you have. Now, the first thing I want to say is I have got a real action-packed presentation for you today. So I want you to sit comfortably, make sure you've got your drinks. I've got my cup of tea, I've got my water. I'm good to go. And I'm going to give you as much as I can in an hour. So it is going to be rapid fire. And I would encourage you to take screenshots or photos, whatever you want to do, and make notes. Now, my suggestion is you make bullet point notes, because you will get access to the replay. But don't use that as an excuse to not be here and be fully present, because people, I find consistently over decades, people who participate get a lot more out of a session. So if you're comfortable, if you've got everything ready, then I'm going to say, like we used to say years ago, if you're sitting comfortably, then we'll begin. So I've got a presentation that I want to share with you. Now, I reckon that the presentation is going to answer most of your questions. And I really think that if you're patient, you will find that your questions are all answered. If they are not, then let me know, because we will make sure that we get them answered. So what I want to do is I want to move to the slideshow. Oh, hang on. I've got my screen is too big. So let's move it up and hit the slideshow down here. And I also have to move around my lovely pictures of all of you. So slide share. Okay. What I'm going to do today is show you how to remove procrastination, distraction, get more clarity, and get more done. So it's about becoming unshakable in 2022, but always. Being unshakable means that you're ready, you're prepared, and I'm going to give you our best tools and resources to do that. You can achieve more with less if you work smart and you work sensibly. We all know these things. I'm going to give you the simplest one-page plan, which is what we base all of our coaching, support, training around, and it gets results. It absolutely gets results. So I'm going to show you how you can get the results too. I'm going to show you how to prioritize, get great results consistently, because too many people get results, but they're erratic. And you might be thinking that. You might be thinking, yeah, my results are a little bit up and down. And business can be very much a roller coaster. And I want to take away stress, give you more focus and more certainty about next steps. All make sense so far? Now, what I will say is I can't see the chat right now because Jack is going to manage that. I will come back to it at the end. But what I do want you to do is to engage in the chat. I want you to engage in the chat, because I'm going to share with you how to achieve more with less. I know, wouldn't that be great? It is possible. Somebody's not on mute, so please make sure you're on mute so it doesn't disturb everybody else. I promise you I'll stay on at the end and answer all of your questions. The systems that I'm going to share with you today and the resources and the bonuses that I've got for you at the end, and I've got a lot of them, bonuses and offers, they work. We've trialed them ourselves. We don't share anything that we haven't proven to work. So they're all tried, tested and proven. Is that somebody who needs to mute? So we've used them, we've refined them, and we've simplified everything down to, wherever we can, a number of one-page checklists and resources. We share with you what works so you can tailor it to suit you. Okay, thousands of businesses it works in. all different types. So don't even ask me, does this work for this business? Yes, it does. It works for all kinds of business. Doesn't matter how old or young your business is. It doesn't matter whether it's big or small. There are a lot of common components to it. And I'm going to break it down for you and share it with you, because too much is secret, too much is hidden. And with my background as a business coach, I found that too many people had to invest significant amounts of money. And by that, I'm talking a couple of £1,000s a month to get access to this kind of information. I'm giving you the outline of all of it today. And I will give you at the end bonuses that you can dip into and use. So you want to reduce your stress, reduce the amount of time you're spending doing things, make life more simple and more fun. You're in the right place. So give me a thumbs up if you're happy that that's absolutely what you want. And you can do thumbs up physically, or you can do thumbs up in the chat. And you can tell Jack as well, because Jack's going to be keeping an eye on everything. Okay. So our agenda for today, I'm going to hit you with a lot of things fast here. So I'm going to come back and repeat this later, but we're going to look at the problems that you've got in business, and I want you to participate in this bit. Tell me what the problems are. I'll tell you what some of them are, but I want you to type in the chat what your problems are, because I want you later then to see that some of those problems can be answered. We've got solutions for you. So I will be giving you solutions right the way through to all areas of business. I'll share with you the one-page business plan, which is how I organize it. So you can quickly and easily see, totally transparently, what we do, how we do it, and see which parts are most important and most relevant to you. Then we'll get towards the end, we'll get to bonuses for you, and I will have a ton of bonuses. I will have more masterclasses on the areas that you're interested in, free. I will have a number of downloads and free support online, and I will also have an offer to join us inside our membership. If you think, do you know what, I've put up with this for long enough, I'm ready to do something about it. You're a grown-up, you can decide what's right for you. Do you want free or paid support? But I will offer you both and show you the difference between them. And I want you to think about this in your own business. Where are you over-delivering because you're not clear on who you're delivering to? I make sure that it's like personal tax to me. We have a free area and we have a paid area. Obviously, we give a lot more support and in a lot more depth to our members, but we also are committed to helping people on a free basis. So I'll explain how that works later. And stay with me, because you'll need to stay till after that bit, and it will all be within the hour. You'll need to stay so that you know how to get all your bonuses, okay? Whether you decide to join us in the free area or the paid, that's where I'm going to give all those free things away for you. So stay on to the end, ask your questions. If you can, make a note of your questions separately. And when you're sending questions, don't send them privately. I won't see them. Send them to all, because the question you've got may well be a question that somebody else has got. Share it. This is the place for us all to share together. And you will get free support and coaching at the end of the hour. Q&A. I will go through it, whatever questions you've got. Now, you'll see at the bottom there's a lovely little, oops, sorry, I went too fast there. There is a lovely little treasure chest with 2 keys. The 2 keys are the offers I'm going to make you at the end. You will want one of them, if not both. So make sure that you take advantage of the offers later on. There are 2 keys and 2 ways to do it, but interaction and engagement works. So as we go on to this next slide, let's talk about the problems in business for a minute. And I do want you to type in the chat here. And Jack, if they're not typing in, let's encourage them, because the more you participate, the more you will get out of it. Business can be tough. It can be lonely. It's challenging. There's so many things that come up. It's overwhelming. Overwhelm is something I hear a lot. That's why I want to share these tools and resources with you, because we can take that away. We can give you simple, easy ways of narrowing things down to make clearer, faster decisions. confusing. Should I do this? Should I do that? We can make it much easier for you. So our 2 top downloads are the key ways to do that and make it happen. I want you to type in the chat. That little image there is basically me saying to you, type in the chat, what are your problems in business? You don't have to put specifics, but is it time? Is it money? Is it team? Is it managing people? Is it keeping people? Is it getting clients, keeping clients? Type in the chat, and please, Jack, do encourage people to tell us what the problems are, because I want to revisit these at the end. I also want you to be looking at your problems and thinking, how can Mary help me with it? How can 90 Day help me with it? By the way, 90 Day, it's not just for 90 days. This isn't a course. We do this every 90 days. Okay, so whether it's free or in the membership group, we are looking at all of these things every 90 days. Why? Because it's easy. It's easy to chunk your year down into quarters and then your quarters down into months. So I hope you're engaging and telling me what some of the problems are, because guess what's going to happen later? I want you to say, you've shown me there's a way to solve this. Okay. And you might want to ask more questions about it, but hold them where you can, hold the questions till the end. But if you have any questions or comments, please put them throughout. There are always solutions to problems, and the solutions, it comes down to 2 different camps for me. You can either be on a complete roller coaster, and you'll see, I mean, that image there, it's great and it's exciting if you're a kid, but when you're a grown up, you don't want that much fear and ups and downs coming into your business. And I see too many businesses that are up and down and up and down. It's actually quite easy to flatten it out and have it level, but also to have it level and growing and increasing. It's really simpler than you could possibly imagine by making small changes. Too many people think I've got to make big changes. No, you haven't. You've just got to make small, and write this word down, consistent changes. Small, consistent steps will win every time. But most people don't do that. They have a big flurry of activity and then don't keep it up and give themselves a hard time. Write in the chat box, if you beat yourself up regularly. Because I want you to remove that from your vocabulary today. Don't beat yourself up. Don't beat anybody else up. Build yourself up every day, every 90 days, ongoing. So we don't beat ourselves up, we build ourselves up. The hard way is trial and terror, as it's called by some people. You're doing something, it doesn't work. Oh God, it's so frustrating. I put time into it, it hasn't worked. I'm going to come to some simple suggestions. You're really going to have to pay attention to this because there'll be lots of nuggets. I guarantee, I promise you. Trial and terror. I've done that. And it is terrifying sometimes when it's your livelihood on the line and your finances and your reputation and your confidence as well. I bet some people have said confidence can be an issue in business. Learn from your mistakes, yes, but you'll see on the top right, Eleanor Roosevelt said, learn from the mistakes of others. You can't live long enough to make them all yourself. So learn from other people's mistakes. It's called wisdom. Learning from your own mistakes is experience. Learning from other people's mistakes, well, that's wisdom. That's clever. That's being smart. Being too busy to learn a new way or see a new perspective. Oh, that's the one, the cartoon with a bunch of people firing bows and arrows, and there's somebody with a machine gun, but they're too busy to look at anything new. Too busy doing what I'm doing. So congratulations for turning up today, because by turning up today, you've actually allocated yourself some time. And I know some people will review it on replay because there will be a lot of little nuggets that you will want to get in place and take action on. Don't be too busy. Always make some time to work on your business as well as in it. How many people, and you don't have to confess, but you can if you want, I'll get round to it, I'll do that. I know there's somebody on this call that said, oh, I've been trying to do this, for 5 years. I've lurked, I've looked, and, to be honest, I've just been too busy and I've been pulled by the business. So I'll get round to it. That's why they used to make those little buttons with around to it written on them, saying, oh, well, I've got around to it now. Oh, so what am I going to get around to doing? Staying on the roller coaster ride as business goes up and down and up and down, that's not good for your health. Mental, emotional, physical, none of it is good for your health. The smart way, the easy way, is model what works, model excellence. You'll hear all the top coaches around the world saying exactly that. Learn from other people's experience. It's less painful and it's less costly. You will still make mistakes. Of course you will. We all have to make some. That's a learning experience. It isn't a problem. It's about saying, I found how not to do it. Einstein and his, I found 1,000 ways not to make a light bulb, but all I want to do is keep going until I find the one. That's commitment. Investing a small amount of time. If you invest a small amount of time like you're doing today, I promise you, invest a little bit more to implement, and it will save you hours and stress and money and all your energy. You know, it'll be amazing. Making it happen is important. We are recording, aren't we? Definitely. Just want to double check that, Jack. You might want to come off mute and make sure the recording is happening and let me know.
Yes, you are, don't worry.
Lovely, thank you. I just like to be sure every now and again, because there will be lots. Thank you. Making a decision to smooth the way. I'll talk about decisions later. Now, too many of us put our time, we think we're investing our time into webinars and training and seminars and workshops and audio and video programs. We think we're investing our time. But I'm going to tell you honestly, most people are deluding themselves because you're spending your time because you don't do anything with it afterwards. Bit punchy, I know, I'm risking being controversial here, but anybody who knows me will know I'm passionate about you getting results. I'll share my best stuff with you. I can help you. I can show you how to do it better, faster, easier. What I can't do is do it for you. So it's up to you to make some decisions about what you're going to do at the end of today's sessions. Make notes on things that you think I need to put that in place, and we will come back to it. The biggest way I can share a lot of solutions with you quickly is to share with you our one-page business plan. The one-page business plan just underpins everything that we do. So keep calm, we've got it covered for you. So sit tight and strap yourself in for the ride as we go through the one-page business plan. Okay, you'll see here we've got 90-day accelerator at the top. We've got 90-day planning is the underpinning thing that we've been doing forever. 90-day accelerator is about saying, let's get you better solutions on an ongoing basis every 90 days. So we've cracked the 90-day planning code, and you'll see here is our 9-box model. It's a simple plan. I got fed up as a coach, charging people £2,000 a month, and it all seemed a bit hidden, and I knew the answers, but they didn't. I wanted a way, and so I've designed this and put it together from decades of experience, distilled down into one page that will help you make faster decisions. When you look at it, you will know the biggest area for you, and you can type in, if you look at the boxes, the first column, boxes 1, 2, and 3. And this is important because I'm going to refer to these numbers throughout. Pillar number 2 is boxes 4, 5, and 6. And pillar number 3, 7, 8, and 9. So I'm going to be giving you the problems of each box, the solutions to each box, and how it works when you make the changes. And usually they're quite simple changes, nothing rocket science in here. All of us can do it. We're just too busy to work out how. So I put this plan together, and the more I use it over years, the more I realized I must have had a genius day, because the cornerstones are in the right place, the pillars are in the right place, and it's all on one page. So if you look at it and you think, oh, my problem is sales, so that's box 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If that's your problem, then you can look at your sales. There are things that you can do. Usually it goes back to something that's not right in pillar number 1. The number one, number two, or number three are not clear. So I'm going to take you through each box, each pillar, each box. So strap in for the ride, because there's going to be a lot of stuff covered in a short amount of time. Okay, the first pillar is all about, why did you set your business up in the first place? What was your vision for it? How did you see it in terms of what you thought it would be like with your time? Did you think you'd be working half a day, swanning around, having a great time? And I live in Spain, swanning off down to the beach, for example. And these are great visions to have, but there's some key simple steps to achieve the visions. I'm living in Spain. It was a long-held dream. I took the steps to make it happen. Andy and I love it here. We originally thought it would be a holiday home. Then in COVID, we thought, let's just live here. It's great. We took residency, etc. But what's your vision that you first had when you set up your business? And if you haven't set up your business now, think about what your vision is. What will life be like every week, every month, every quarter? How can you see it panning out? Now, my vision was great. It took me a lot of time to get reality to line up with it. And there are ways that you can do it, but it's like attaching a load of horses to a carriage to pull in the right direction. Anybody who watched the Queen's funeral yesterday will see that there was a lot of coordination and work. They did a lot of work and preparation for a smooth journey, a smooth event, a smooth experience. Now, what happens is we have a vision, but we often don't take the steps to make it happen, or we get too busy with the day-to-day stuff of business, and that's where time kicks in. If you've got a clear vision for how you're going to manage your time, then you can make it happen. And it took me a while to get things coordinated in that area, but you can. I'm going to share the tools that I used because I want you to have them. The money and profit that you make, did you have a clear idea, or did you just think, oh, like I did, oh, I could do this. I'm great at doing this. I'm going to get out and do it for myself. Yeah, I did that, but I had no idea at the time back in '97 of how to run a business. I thought I did, but I learned the hard way. Now I want to make it easy so you don't have to learn the hard way. The reason I'm going into this is because I see too many business owners, and some of them have got big businesses. They've built monsters. Some of them have got small businesses, but they've built a monster. They've got less time with their family. Their kids don't see them. They're not following their hobbies and their passions. Everything's just gone wrong, gone horribly wrong somewhere. But you can get control of it and get it back. Or if you didn't have it in the first place, you can get it. So the first thing that we talk about, and some of you will know this if you've been on the 5-day challenge that I ran a couple of weeks ago. I run them every quarter, and they are to help you get pillar number one, something from pillar number one in place in your business. The stairway to heaven is, where am I now? Where am I going? Now, that might be really clear. Can you see up here, we've got the numbers kicking in. This is box number one of the pillars, and it's in the same color as the model. So box number one, your vision, your stairway to heaven. How are you going to get there? You've got to work out the steps to get you to achieve your vision. Now, you'll see up there, I've got numbers 8 to 9. I'm going to show you what that is. Our members get a lot more support, obviously. We give free stuff away, but members get support through this, because what we do with our members is we say, what is your stairway to heaven? And we have a 56-page workbook that actually takes you through it. And I will show you that at the end, because it's all chunked down into the different sections with lots of questions and guidance to go and point you to where to get the right resources. But whether your vision is vague and you're climbing, are you climbing the right ladder? Is it what you want? Does it mix with does it fit with your values? So your vision, your mission, your values, and your goals are all part of box one. Now, what we do is we share the simplest tool, and I would urge you to take a picture of this and take an action point to download it if you haven't already. This is how to get every 90 days an outline of your plan on one page. It looks simple, it's powerful. Don't dismiss it because it just looks like a kid's drawing it. The whole point is a kid could do this, and they do it probably a lot better than most business owners. Because what you do is for your vision, your mission, and your goals, this is box 1, everything is going to be in the same place on the screen, okay? There are 6 keys to making this happen. Number 1 is get aligned. This is get clear on what you want in the future. And this, I've given you 4 tips really to look at and to say, right, what if I do money, people, time, and what am I delivering for this money and the time that I'm doing? What's my time spent delivering and doing? So for me, one of the key things is 90-day planning, free and paid. How much money do I need to make? How much money does my business cost me? There's a lot of different things to look at here. But alignment of future, I can sit down with Andy, my partner of nearly 20 years, and on one page, we can align our plans. There are some things that are the same for us in the future. I don't have scuba diving on my list. He does on his. So I have something else. What we'll do is swap and change it around. Okay. Number 2 is your action plan. That's where you draw from A to B. I'm going to have my ideal action plan is going to be clear and straight. In fact, it's a roller coaster, but I want to even it out as much as possible, because if you do this and you chunk it down into 3 months, if you're looking at October, November, and December, put the month names in October, November, and December. What do I need to do in October to take the steps in October to October, November, and then December to achieve this by the time we get to January? Everything for me fits around our quarterly planning days. So we've got a quarterly planning day coming up on the 7th of October. We've got another one on, I think it's the 7th of January. What am I going to do in between? We have a mid-quarter check-in. So I want an action plan and I want a regular focus and some time to work on. The regular focus is the train track. Chunk it down into weeks. I've got a lot more for you on this, and I've got a 1-hour webinar that takes you through the whole thing, and it's one of our 5-day challenge options. You'll go along, if you don't test and measure and adjust, you'll be like the plane that forgets to change track and it just hits a different mark completely, which is where I see too many business owners. Someone else comes in with an idea better than yours. Because you're not clear on your plan, you can't clearly say that doesn't fit for the next quarter or the next month, but I know where I can go when I'm ready for it. Test, measure, and adjust. Keep, as if you were on the motorway. Keep making sure you're on the right motorway and you're getting on and off at the right junctions to get to your destination. Education, that is the thing that you may need to do. For us, we've had to do that many times. We run businesses about social media. Well, social media wasn't on here. It wasn't a thing when we first started doing 90-day planning. Again, there's a lot in the workbook. But that 1-page plan, I would encourage you to do yours and think, what do I want to achieve by the end of the year? How am I going to work it back? I know it looks childlike. You will not believe the power of it until you actually do it. And here's a lady from New York, wonderful New Yorker. In box number 1, she's got some great results. We hold space for people to do this. We do it in our full-day workshops and our mid-quarter check-ins. You may need to claim space in your diary to make sure that you're doing something to work on your business. She took the model, made it work for her. She's got great clarity. It's really simple. It's fun. It's easy. None of this is hard work. The next thing is, it looks like we've got somebody having a real problem trying to get into the event. Never mind, we'll pick that up. I'm sure Jack's on top of it. Box number 2 is all about your time. What time did you think you were going to be working? Did you think you would work the hours that suited you? What are they? Do you know them? So if you have a look at it, how often do you look at a timetable like you did at school? To pass an exam, you had a timetable for the week, for the month, for the, what do they call them, terms or semesters. You know, you had your plan. And if you did the stuff, you would have a fair chance of passing the exam at the end of it. So the default diary is one of our other options on the challenge. Download this, use it, and you will be amazed. It might take you a bit of time to refine it, to get it right, but you will, if you take the steps. First thing is download it, put your start and stop times in, because otherwise business owners, I've seen too many that I've even said to some people, do you not like your family? You know, do you not want to be around them? Is that why you're so busy all the time? But if you want to get control of your time and your life, then you need a default diary. This is speaking as somebody who, I will fess up, took me 3 quarters to get this done. I kept fighting it. I didn't want to be constrained. Do not fill the whole thing out, but put some chunks of time in, even color code your day. Again, I've got a 1-hour webinar for you at the end, focused just on this and how to do it for you, and a download. Create your default diary. It's what you do by default. You don't have to rigidly stick to it. By default, we would have had, it was a bank holiday in England, and many of us wanted to watch the ceremony and you know, take time out and pay our tributes. So by default, it would have been Monday. We change it. That's okay. When you use a default diary, you don't lose things, you move them. Okay. And if you're dumping them, you know you're dumping them, and you're going to have to find some time to sort it another time. Remember to include your business and your life in here. And it might take time for you to catch up. Pam was one of our members who said she's participated in the workshops. It's made a huge difference to how she organises herself and her business, not least of which is she has files 1 to 9. So if she's got something on marketing, she goes, that's number 4. I'll put that in number 4. When I'm ready to do marketing, I pick it up. If I'm working on systems, it's box number 7. So I put it in number 7. And when I'm ready to do systems, I go there. So she no longer feels overwhelmed. She's got everything in place. The resources that you get, even on the 5-day challenge, really help. She's been using them for a long time, but look at this, persistence pays off. She has practiced, and she's practiced the right stuff. She hasn't just practiced what she's done, she's refined it and refined it. And that's how you get results. The third box of the foundations of financials, I'm spending longer on these boxes because they are fundamental to getting results in the other areas. Most people want to dive into marketing or sales, but they're missing this. They haven't got control of this. So it's like having a fishing net with holes in. So getting control of your financials is important. It's critical. There's a 2-part checklist I've got. And again, I've got a 1-hour webinar on this for you as a bonus. Create your own. Use my template. First thing you can do is anything that doesn't apply to you, delete it. You can always come back. There's no scarcity with me. I'm not taking any of this stuff away. If you don't do it by a certain time, this is here for you. If you change, you suddenly become VAT registered, you get a new checklist, download it and customize it, personalize it. But your financials checklist consists of 2 parts. 1 part you do every month, and 1 part you do in a particular month. So down here, I've got mine sorted January to December. So today I spoke to our bookkeepers and they said, oh, right, September, it's the end of the VAT quarter and it's the financial year end. That's just flagging it up because next month we'll have some work to do. And make it easy for yourself. Know what your money is in and out. Have dashboards and KPIs. It's like you get in the car and you check your petrol, your fuel, your whatever it is. You check it. You make sure it's all right. Any warning lights? This is what this checklist does for you. And that's box 3. That's pillar number 1. Now, Helen used to spend a lot of time in a big corporate business managing all the money. But like many of us, you go into business and you kind of forget sometimes what you're good at and what you did really well for somebody else. So she started using this to create mastery in her business and give her the control she wanted. She now quickly and easily knows what needs attention. I have calls with my bookkeeper. They take me through the checklist. It's quick, it's easy. And the 2-part template and some guidance will propel you to more results. Then you move into pillar number 2. Now, pillar number 2, this is where most people think they want help. But usually I find there's something that's falling down on the job in pillar number 1. So pillar number 1 is about you and getting you right. why did you set your business up? What was your vision, time, financials? Now we're in the engine room. Now, these are 3 cogs, if you like: marketing, sales, and delivery. People talk about sales and marketing. It's the other way around. You market, then you sell, then you deliver. And do not stop doing all of those things simultaneously. Keep them going. Find a way to make these cogs fit so that none of them gets turned off. Now, if you're anything like I used to be, I've made every mistake, which is why I want to share this stuff. I do not want it to be painful for you. Get your marketing right. Oh, great, you make a sale. Now I've got to deliver. What's happened to the marketing? Consistency is important. Write that word down if you haven't already. Consistency. Consistency of marketing, sales, and delivery, or you're going to have roller coaster ups and downs and sleepless nights and all kinds of things. We don't want that. So your marketing, there's a very simple 6-step plan that we share with people. And we've got a 1-page one. Here are the keywords, the 2 words that are most important, and write these down at the top of your list. Who do I want to sell to? And where can I find them in the highest concentration? If you start with that, the other questions, again, all these are downloads, free downloads, different things. And I've got more webinars on all of these things. So it's literally a crash course right the way through, an overview. But who and where are you going to find your ideal clients in the highest concentration? I share this with you because I went to every networking event known to man. I actually honed my skills with marketing. I had more purpose in what I was marketing and where and why. So I want to help you do that too. Now, here's something that in box 4, Gordon said, quick shout out and thank you to Mary. He was wondering whether to trouble me with something as mundane as checking his stairway to heaven. That's, again, the goal plan. I spotted a couple of blocks very quickly, and then we changed the direction of the conversation. We looked at goals and generating leads. So we looked at his marketing. In 10 minutes, I went through a couple of pieces of his marketing and totally transformed what he was doing. He had paid people thousands of pounds that were not giving him this information. That drives me insane. Too many people pitch themselves, but they are too good at pitching what they're doing, and they're not really helping you. I'm about helping you, whichever way you want to do it. So he'd encourage you to get membership because you never know where the advice is going to take you. So next we move into sales. That's the central hub of this whole thing. If you're not making sales, you haven't got a business. So the who and the where, remember those were the 2 key questions. Then it's about, have you got a nice clear process? Do you track numbers? Are you qualifying people, or are you just talking to everybody? I wasted too much time talking to anybody and everybody. So now I help people get clear on their sales process and think about what yours is. Have you written it down? Have you got step this, step that, step that? And do you see where you're losing people? Because that's the first thing to start looking at. What are your numbers? What are your targets? I know if I want to grow my connections on LinkedIn by a certain number, I know how many invites I have to send out. If I'm not doing them, it's not going to happen. I'm not going to get hundreds of people registered if we're not doing the marketing. So what marketing and where? All of these things link backwards, forwards. So that's why this is the central hub. Test, adjust, test and measure and adjust. Look at the results and go, I need to do more of that. That's working. This isn't working. Don't just ditch it. Look at, is it not working because I don't know it well enough? Or I'm not qualifying people well enough, or, it could be something you can quickly and easily do. The thing is, get your target right. Make sure that you are looking at finding the ideal people, connecting with them in the right way and engaging with them, not to turn them off and start pitching straight away. Look at your own LinkedIn feeds and social media feeds and email. You'll see how easy it is to turn people off because you're getting emails like that all the time. Give people help, give them things that are going to be useful and nurture them. I give stuff away because I want you to know that I'm there for you. I want you to trust me. I want you to test things and see that they work. What can you do in your business to help people qualify which is the best area for them to join you, to not join you, whatever. Activity leads to success. Now, Andy uses wall charts like this. Some people use spreadsheets, but what you track, what you measure, you can manage. And sales should be a nice, easy system. Now, here's Kirsty. She's somebody else I've worked with, 5 and 6, marketing and sales. She said, where to start with the benefits of 90-day membership? Mary helped me get clear on proposals. She was winning business. She was already doing well. Some people were on the calls thinking, wow, group calls going, I don't even do proposals. So they learned how to cut to the chase quickly. I helped her get clear on them. She now wins more business far more easily. And it's usually something really simple, but she's being told regularly, I'm head and shoulders above the competition. And the business is winning awards. I've just spoken to her this morning. She's winning more business again. She said, oh, this is great. Then when we look at delivery, are you on that roller coaster? Are you on that roller coaster of I'm delivering? Oh my God, now this delivery is coming to an end. I haven't been doing any marketing. Are you consistent? Are you keeping your clients? Retention takes you a lot to get a client. So look after them. And if there are any property investors on here, we had somebody once, she was great, in the middle of a room, she just went, oh my God, I just realised my tenants and my clients, I think as in, and actually, if you treat them with the respect to you by paying and staying, and do you get testimonials? Because all of that will lead to getting testimonials, speed stunning, delivering regularly, whether it's online or offline. Again, loads of really simple ideas and things that you can do. But look at your own areas of delivery. Are you delivering consistently? I deliver consistently to our free groups and to our paid groups at different levels, but I am consistent. So do people know they can rely on you? Jamie, he's been a long-term member, and I haven't put a number in this because he just keeps getting results in all areas. So he keeps coming back because it's consistency, the magic word again, that matters. Every quarter, his business has changed. So it's 90 days. But if you can accelerate your results every 90 days, you're on that steady upward climb, and it's steady. Ease it out. Don't try and do everything in one go. He reviews, he plans, so many resources and guidance on how to use them. So Jamie is a great implementer. And I want you to implement stuff after today's call. I want you thinking, what can I do? Pillar number three. This is where lots of people want to go to. They want to go to this bit because they think, oh, if I do this, then I'll have. Get pillar number 1 right first. Now here, you're in one of 2 stages, wherever you are in your business. You might be a bit in both camps, but pillar number 3 is about either stabilizing and maintaining and having that consistency and strength built into your business. If it's a bit erratic, you will definitely need to loop through this pillar with this in mind. Or you've got all this cracked, you've got everything in place in this box, in this pillar, in these boxes, and you're ready to grow. Now, you might want to grow, but unless you get all of these boxes slowly but surely, and you'll move between the boxes, or you'll see how one impacts on another. Systems and technology. One of our members, I had a members call this morning, and she said, it's, a phrase we use a lot is it's like refueling an aircraft while you're mid-flight, because you're still delivering on your business days to work on my business. I had to work up to that. I used to take 30 minutes here and there. I'm a big fan of 90 minutes, and it might be 3 90-minute chunks. It might be Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I've built up to these things. You don't, it's like if you're doing, World's Strongest Man. You don't do it overnight. You don't have the intention and it happens. You take the steps, you do the things that will get you there. Back to the stairway to heaven, you take small steps on a consistent basis. Any fans of James Clear? He talks about 1% a day improvement means you're 37.78 times better, not percent, times better at the end of a year. Well, if you want to be nearly 40 times better, keep doing the 1% improvement. If you don't care, don't make the improvements. But what's happening is other people are and will get left behind. So business is dynamic, life is dynamic, it's constantly changing and growing. So let's have a look at this pillar and see what's in here. The first thing is systems, operations, admin. If you've got your systems right, they save you stress, time, energy, and money. Now, I got that acronym from when I was part of Action Coach, business coaching. And it's absolutely true. I wish I could have credited it to a person, so I'll just credit it to Brad Sugars, who's great, because Brad is the master of systems. That's why he's built a global coaching firm, and Andy and I were part of it for a long time, and we're still very connected with them. So on the left, you'll see that picture. That's what most business owners have got. They've got notes, post-its, bits here, stuff in the head. Everything is just disorganized. And that leads to lack of clarity. It's disorganization, leads to procrastination because you don't know what to do. Create a file or online files 1 to 9 and put your stuff in there. You know, is it to do with my vision? Is it to do with my finances? Oh, that's box 1, box 3, time, box 2. Start to do this and map things around your 9-box plan. You will make life a lot simpler. But get the ideas out of your head and write them down. I've built a team around the world, which is fantastic because they have systems and they are the first people to introduce improvements to systems. The best people in our business for writing systems have always been the lowest paid, the people who only work part-time, you know, because it's got to be clear for them. A bit like McDonald's. No offense to McDonald's. In fact, all credit to McDonald's and KFC and the Hilton and the Ritz-Carlton. From one end of the spectrum to the other, they all have consistent systems. This is how you do this. Okay, so create systems. Then you don't have to do it. And if you think no one can do it as well as me, of course they can't, because you haven't given them a system. Equally, you're probably not doing it as well as you'd like. I know, because I've done this, I've fallen foul of it. When you're busy, you miss something, so you have to go back and fix it. Well, a phrase I heard once was, if you haven't got time to fix it the first time, when the heck do you think you're going to get time to go back and fix it? Really? So systems will underpin everything that you do. It's like having a table. Every system you put in place is another leg under that table to hold your business up strongly. And some of them can be really small and really simple, like some of the things I've told you. A 1-page marketing plan with 6 questions, who and where are you going to find them? Get clear on those, and that's 80% of your marketing results. The other things that I've talked about, the stairway to heaven, the default diary, the financial checklist, these are all systems. And that's why I keep coming back to get your foundation pillar right. When you've got it right, you can do what I do. You can sit anywhere in the world, have a cup of coffee, look at it all, everything's fine, liaise with the team, you're comfortable, you're fine, systems are supporting you. It also, very importantly, gives you thinking time, gives you time to get those opportunities that you want. Again, all those page numbers are linked to the workbook, the 56-page workbook, where we give people more information. That's for our members. More results. Brian Taylor, wonderful, wonderful client. He'd always struggled with systemizing. He kept repeating the same tasks. He realizes now how much time that was costing him, and that was valuable client-facing, income-producing time. So we put some systems in place. His goal was to get the systems in place. In fact, his goal was actually to spend more time with his kids. And that was all he wanted. And I asked him, you know, what else do you want? What else do you want? And he said, no, if I can get my systems and get everything just streamlined and have more time with my kids, I'll be happy. I kept on at him till in the end he said, okay, well, maybe if I can double my business as well, and then laughed at me. More of that in a minute. But 90-day planning helped him implement simple, repeatable systems. He saved countless hours, freed up headspace, and doubled his turnover. He couldn't believe it because he said, I put that in as a joke because I thought you'd never do it. Well, he's gone on to do more. He's done much more than that. But this, honestly, this stuff just works. The next box over here on this right-hand pillar is team. Now, everybody's got team, whether you have internal or external team. And I want you to think about that for a minute, because who do you know who? They're your team. Who are your suppliers? Who, with us, we've got property as well. Who's the mortgage broker? Who's our bank? Who are our managing agents? Who are our bookkeepers? Who are our solicitors? So, and again, type in the chat, have you got more internal team or have you got more external team? We've got a few internal team and a big external team. But I can show you, and this has been a game changer for a number of our clients, how to recruit so you're doing it with a clear system and structure. Honestly, it's the most ridiculously simple sheet. I use it. I've used it myself. I've coached many people through it. I can make it a lot more sophisticated, and I explain the ins and outs of it all to our members. But in a nutshell, it's one sheet when you're interviewing somebody. And if you use that and you get prepared beforehand, it's a dream, and it stops you going with gut feeling without checking that it's the right thing to do. We've got systems to help you induct and onboard people so that they know what to expect. Double your team, quadruple your problems is the normal way of things. And that's what my mentor said to me years ago. Mary, if you double your team, you're going to quadruple your problems. I'll show you how not to do that, because I'll show you how to manage them, monitor them, and use a simple 4-box control sheet. Simple 4-box control sheet. Stay on at the end. Any questions that you've got, I'm going to answer them, but there'll be a load of resources to share with you afterwards. So who do you know? It's personal and professional development. Remembering you are part of the team. You are a key part of the team. Right people, right places. Otherwise, you're spelling meet, not team. So get the right people doing the right thing. Kirsty, again, she said resources for recruiting. She used them for interviewing, onboarding, working with team. Easy to follow. She's doubled her team, but she hasn't quadrupled her problems. She's freed herself up to take holidays. She goes horse riding a lot more now. It can be done. And the final box, results. There are reports and dashboards. What you measure, you can manage. But this is back to making time in your calendar. When am I looking at the business? When am I working on the business? Once a month, I have the team report into me on numbers. Once a week, they send me the documents I talked about, the 4-box document. We call it progress and planning. What did I do last week? What am I going to do this week? What do I need help with? And what are we behind on? And it might not be that they're behind for any bad reason. It might be I've said, no, let's leave that till quarter 4 to look at. So what are your reports and dashboards? What's your monthly management information and your key performance indicators? Are you clear on what numbers to manage? Once you start paying attention to them, they almost magically start changing. So think about what you want to test, measure, and adjust. Don't be that plane that's gone off track, off the flight path. Get back on. Don't let somebody else pull you off with a bright idea. Stay focused on, is this going to get me what I want in the next 3 months, every 3 months? Look at the numbers, work with them, plan them into your diary and your schedule with your team. What are you going to change as a result? Remember, I said at the beginning, an hour invested in this is fine. The more time you invest, either after with Q&A, which I'll stay on for, and I will make sure you get your bonuses. I'll explain those to you very soon. Make sure you do something with it. Christina's a brilliant implementer. She joined as a member because she knew. Well, she actually said, I didn't join for the workshops. I didn't join for the calls. I joined for you and Andy because I knew whatever I needed, you'd have it. Whether it's a system, a process, guidance, she loves it. She takes it, she goes away and puts things in practice and comes back and refines them. We helped her pivot. She went from no income to and very uncertain income to predictable recurring income. And that's increasing. I said about that line, that's increasing recurring income. Now back to Brian. As a side effect of systemizing his business, he did double his turnover and profit without increasing any overheads or expenditure. and he sold his business and still gets paid an income from it, and is building another business which he will also sell for capital and income. So this isn't pie in the sky stuff. This really works. So that's the one-page model, and those are the pillars. In the workbooks, we have space for people to score themselves each quarter, 90 days, 4 quarters. Your scores will go up and down. Doesn't mean you've got worse. It means you've learned more. You've seen what someone else is doing, and you've gone, I think I was kidding myself last time. I scored myself an 8, but actually I think I'm a 6 now, which is exciting because there's more that you can do. So we keep doing this every 90 days. And I will give you this with my compliments. Now we're getting close. This is good. Timing's good. Bonuses. Remember, I'm going to do Q&A at the end of this, but your bonuses. The bonuses I've got for you are free support or becoming a member. Now, you'll get bonuses either way. So let me quickly move into, remember this, the 2 keys. The 2 keys are join us as a free 90-day planning member in the free Facebook group. And I'll give you a couple of links to get your bonuses as well, including your downloads and your webinars, your free webinars for the detail of what you want. But the keys to unlocking any results are active participation. So I hope some of you have been active in the chat, and we're moving closer to question time now. Bear with me for just another few minutes. But here's my offer. I'm going to talk to you about what you get as a paid member of the 90-day Accelerator membership, because I want you to know what's inside it. And it will either be a prompt for you saying, I need to get in this because I need more help. And this is affordable, it's consistent, it will give you what you need, if it's right for you right now. If it's not, join us in the free group and fill your boots with whatever's in there. But I want to explain the difference between the 2 before we go into Q&A. Now, I'm inviting you to join us in either or both of these 2 memberships, free and subscriber. We've got a great group of people, and option 1, membership, with them. Always think about this with your clients as well. What's in it for me? I know that's what's going through your head. Why should I join? What's in it for me? So let's cut to the chase. Well, for box number 1, we'll help you and work with you to clarify your goals for the next 90 days, get you a clear stairway to heaven on the full day workshop that we run. The next one's on the 7th of October. And I open the membership at this time of year and this time of the quarter, and then I close it. I will close it on the 30th, because on the 7th of October, we're going to go through together with anybody who's inside the membership, existing members and new members. We close the doors because we don't want people coming and joining at different times. We're on a journey to help make sure that people understand the 90-day rhythm. So we'll help you get your clear plan for the quarter to the end of the year. We'll help you master your time and start to get control of it and start to get your diary looking how you want it to, not just all over the place. Financials will help you get money mastery with the simple 2-part checklist. And again, Christina said before 90 days, she'd created goal lists, but she said they were like, I remember one day she was just shaking her head saying, you know, they were fantasy. Now I have a structure to achieve the small steps and milestones consistently and make real progress. In pillar number 2, we're going to help you get your 6-step marketing plan and get you focused on the 20% that's going to give you 80% of your results. We're going to stop you being erratic and all over the place. We've got some people, Christina was one, she said, I think I've spent 18 months on marketing. That's absolutely fine. It's whatever you need. You can dip into these boxes and the detail as you need and your business needs. Sales will help you refine your sales process. You might have one. If you haven't got one, we'll help you create one. We'll make it easy for people to buy from you. And we'll show you where you're stopping them buying from you using really simple systems. We'll keep clients staying and paying by managing their expectations and managing your expectations. Do clients know what to expect from you? And do you spell it out clearly, what you expect from them, what they can expect from you? We've got some simple things that you can use as starting points. But this is the engine room of your business. If this isn't working, There may be some things in pillar 1 we need to fix first to give you strength going forward. And pillar number 3, we're going to help you save yourself stress, time, energy, and money. We're going to make sure that you build in consistency, whether it's you doing everything or whether you want other people to do it for you. I've fallen foul of this and had to do stuff myself because I hadn't got a clear system. Not anymore. Now I want to run off and play and I want to go to the beach. How to recruit, onboard, great team, then train and develop them, managing results with simple tools. So you are not constantly being asked for help. You are not having people who are not clear, or you're not clear on what they're doing. This just makes it really easy. A couple of things I'm going to explain here. We'll help you measure and manage what matters. And we're going to help you by TMA, test, measure, and adjust with you. How's that working for you? Are you testing, measuring, and adjusting the right stuff, or do you need to change it? LBs and NTs, super fast description of this. What do you like best? Keep doing it. And next time to make it better, what would you do? We use that for critiquing everything. Marketing campaigns, recruiting, delivering, sales meetings, time management for a week. What do we like best? Keep doing it. Catch yourself and others doing things right. NTs, if you said you beat yourself up, you can't with NTs, because you don't say that was wrong, this was terrible. You say, next time to make it even better, I would do this. And it must be something you can do. All of this is to help you, and we've got a questionnaire as well that helps you see whether you are really in growing and scaling, or whether you're really in stabilizing and maintaining and building strength in your business. So you get an online full quarterly workshop, you get a mid-quarter workshop. We want to keep you on track. Okay, all of this, I'm going to give you a link so you can look at it in your own time. But we have what it used to be, what the prices would normally be, and then a blinding offer for you. And it's, you know, it's a last ditch offer before we close on the 30th of September, because I'm getting grief from one of my coaches. He reckons this should be pitched much higher as an investment than it is. So step at a time. You'll get community, you'll get consistency, content, and clarity. And there's Jamie again with his workbooks, having a great time, quietly just planning his work. You'll get regular support. You'll get deep dives into each of these boxes. You'll get Q&A sessions. We have 2 Zoom meetings a month. That used to only be available to people paying 2,000, 3,000 plus VAT a month. Nothing even remotely resembling this, because we've got economies of scale in a group environment. We've got a behind the scenes membership site where you can just click to join the calls. They're consistent, first Tuesday, third Tuesday, or you can go back and access recordings. And if you just want to know about how do I find my ideal client, type that in and it's going to search for any call, any video, any audio, or any text. You can search all of that in the system. You've got a members only Facebook group. We're in there. We got Q&As to help through implementation, guidance, resources to help you achieve your goals. And the resource library I told you about. This, again, you don't have to wait. Oh, I'll ask Mary, when's she in? Do I need to book a one-to-one? No, you've got access to everything. And it's laid out. You're not going to be at all surprised how it's laid out. It's constantly updated. It's not overwhelming, but it's there for the steps that you want. And look at the format it's laid out in. The 10 boxes, the 9 boxes, but the one that sits over all of it is, personal. Why am I doing this? This is all about me. Some of them have subsections, but you have a whole wealth of access to materials that you can get anytime. You have a 90-day calendar that you can download that tells you when all these things are happening and gives you the links. You've also got the ability as VIPs to book one-to-ones. So all that said, here's another example. Jack was stuck in the day-to-day work of his business, keeping his head down, doing the do. He was working 80 hours a week, 7 days a week, absolutely exhausted. Using the one-page tools, he's changed it completely. Complete game changer, kicking yourself, you know, for how simple it was. He can take weeks off. He's got married. He's celebrated lots of different things, go out for lunch. There's all sorts he can do. He's got control of his business and the results as well. Somebody else said to me recently, I've been a lurker watching this, joining in occasionally, or at least I meant to. Didn't always happen. But when they realised how much time they were wasting with good intentions, but they didn't amount to much, over 5 years, they thought, I need to join. I need to get inside this and do something with it. Stunned by the value that's inside it and the fact that you've got advice and you've got these calls happening throughout the month. You also get weekly updates walking you through the model. Now, they're not things that you have to do. It's not a course. It's just my way of layering in information. Each quarter, we roll through the boxes and I'm giving you a bit more information. It just keeps building your knowledge and happy people. Now, this is all on a separate page. So in a nutshell, you're getting what used to be £2,000 a month minimum investment at a fraction. And when I say a fraction, I mean a fraction of that. But the return on investment is entirely up to you. If you bought all these things separately, you'd definitely be into well more than 24,000 a year. But I've got an invitation for you. So Jack, if you can put this in the chat, please go away and have a look at this invitation. Now, the investment for this, the standard subscription is £497 a month. My coach has told me I'm giving too much away, too much value, and I need to stop. But I'm doing a bit of a cheat, because what I'm saying is with a VIP 197 code, you can join for £197 a month and get access to all these things. I'm not going to go over them again because you'll be able to look when you hit that link, resources, 90-day planning, sign up. You can see, you can look in your own time, and it's only open for another 9 or 10 days now. The other thing I guarantee is whatever rate you join at, you stay at forever. So as prices have gone up, and we've got some members who joined quite a while ago and are extremely happy because they're getting crazy return on investment compared to what they're actually paying for their membership each month. It is a subscription. There is no minimum term. There is no minimum term, because I know if this gives you value, you're going to stay and pay, because you're going to say, I'm doing things. I've actually got somebody now encouraging me and I'm putting it into place. They're helping me implement it. That is your fixed rate for life. No increases ever, as long as you stay a member in good standing. If you stop making payments, then you're not a member in good standing. So we can't have people stop for 3 months and then come back on. No, you're either in this because it's a membership where you're committed to doing something in your business. And if it's right for you, click on that, go and have a look. It's always plus VAT where it's applicable. But VIP 197, and we've made it nice and big on that link. And Jack is putting that in the chat for you if he hasn't already. So, which will make the biggest difference to you? Is it a workshop once a quarter with a check-in in the middle? Is it a members Facebook group? Is it monthly Zoom meetings and a fully searchable library? Is it weekly updates going through those 9 boxes just to remind you of what's in there and see some of the things you could be implementing? Is it your membership site and hub? For anyone who wants to stay on, I can do a quick demo of it. We love it. People are saying, oh my God, this is so easy. Your 90-day calendar of events that you could download into your diary with all the links to access the calls. Is it your community? The people in there are getting amazing returns. So go and have a look. That price, that investment, that special rate of £197 a month goes away forever on the 30th of September. And yes, of course, we'll be emailing you with a replay of this and with reminders. If it's right for you, at least go and check it out, because I've gone through 100 miles an hour here. Option 2, free. If you're saying, yeah, but what's in it? Not what's in it for me, but what's in it for free? Then you can access the 90-day planning group. It's a community. It's Friday focus sessions are in there. Each Friday I put something up that just gets you thinking about something that you could be doing. There's a selection of free resources, and you'll see there is a link at the bottom. Click on that link or click the link that Jack gives you to go and have a look at it. So there are free resources. Every day in the 90-day free group, I do a 5-day challenge to help you put foundation stones in place. and they're all from pillar number 1. There's a quarterly webinar masterclass walking you through the 3 pillars. Okay, that's what we're doing today. So you get all of those. Let me show you what that means. You can get your stairway to heaven, and you can get your download of your 9-box model. Okay, your 9 essential elements for business success. The table of resources, doing it again, getting click happy. Table of resources. This is where you can go in and say, I want that hours session on marketing, on sales, on getting my default diary in place, getting my financials done, whatever it is. And there, if you go to 90dayplanning.co.uk, you will be able to find all of those things. Now, if you look at that and you want to know more about the membership, click on the Join Now button. You don't have to join. Click on the Join Now button and look at what's in there. Because I want you to seriously think, how much time are you wasting? How much opportunity cost are you losing? Because you're doing things the hard way and you're doing trial and terror and you're on the roller coaster. It's time now to make a decision for you. Okay, not for me, for you. What has to change for you? Are you ready? What do you need to stop doing? What do you need to start doing? And what do you need to continue doing? At the very least, make a list of those 3 things and put things underneath them as to what you will stop and start and continue. I would say stop doing things that distract you. Get a clear plan. When you wake up with a clear plan, you're on it, you know what you're doing, and it's in or it's out for this quarter. I love this quote from Tony Robbins. And again, it's looking at the difference between 90-day accelerator. Do you want to accelerate your results? Do you want to finish the year strong and be ready and in the flow of the 90-day planning rhythm, and starting to look at the different aspects of your business and getting the support and guidance in 90-day accelerator? Or do you just want to go in the free group and do it yourself? I do give you a word of warning, because I know there are lots of people in the free group, and there's a lot of intention. The road to hell is paved with good intentions. Good intentions don't get the job done. So if you're ready to make a difference, come and join me. If you're not, come and join me in the free group. Okay, choose your lane. So yes, I did put that up before, and Jack's got it in the chat. So you've got about 9 days left. And now I'm going to come off presentation mode. We're going to go into the Q&A. I'd like to thank you for your patience. Membership is open until 9 o'clock on Friday the 30th, and I've explained to you why that's the case. It's open then until then, because then we want to get your joining instructions out to you. We want to get you inside the membership, get you access to all the tools and resources, get you in on the calls, and get you ready for your full day workshop and your workbook. So thank you so much for your patience. And what I'm going to do now is come to Jack, because Jack's going to guide us through. Let's have a look. Oh, and I love it. So many people never good at sticking to the job in hand when it's my own job or work. So many people are so good at doing it for everybody else. But as business owners, cobblers' shoes, plumbers, leaky taps. So we say, get yourself right and strong to move forward, prioritize. There's some great stuff in here. Business is all of these things. Yeah, business is fun. It is fun. I love it. Time's the main challenge, not enough. Right. Again, that's because you haven't got a clear default diary and clear goals. If you've got clear goals, you know exactly what you're waking up and doing. I've got a morning routine that I give away. And I finish my morning routine with, what are my top 3 things to do today? I might have 33, I might have 13, but actually all I want to do is get focused on the first 3 first. It is overwhelming. Prioritization, yes. I keep it really simple with that 1-page stairway. Wonderful. Lonely. Oh my God, lonely. I used to be so lonely, and not wanting to be embarrassed and show yourself up that you don't know something. This is a safe place for people to go, oh, I should have done this. And most of us are going, no, you shouldn't. You're doing great. Just keep taking the steps. Do this, do that. Don't beat yourself up. Build yourself up. Whoa, loads here. So Jack, do we have any particular questions?
Not yet. I think you've done too good a job.
Give me a thumbs up if you think I've done such a good job that you've got no questions. Thank you. See Kieran straight away. Hi, Bonnie. I didn't realize you were with us. It has been 100 miles an hour. That's why I give a replay, because honestly, there is that much packed into here that when you listen back to it, go to the bits that are most important for you. Let's have a look, a big stick. I'm looking to see if there are any. Oh, and thank you. Feeling agitated, frustrated, then guilty. How many of us do guilt? Guilt because we're not spending enough time with the people that we love, or guilt that we haven't done something, or I should have done this. No, who's shown you? Who's actually helped you and coached you through these things? Most of us, when we set up in business, can't afford coaching. That's why I bring it right down to a simple, affordable amount on an ongoing monthly basis, because it's a commitment to you. How much do people spend on clothes, on hairdressing, on dining out? Now we can go out again, of course. Drinking, you know, how much do we spend on all of that? Spend and invest are two really important words. Business owners, don't spend your time, invest your time by doing something that will save you time, more time later. Invest your money where you are going to get a greater return. The idea is not to spend money ever. And that's why I've shared with you how people are getting increasing recurring income and revenue after having erratic and very uncertain income, how they are saving time, getting more done. 80-20, it's such a brilliant example, that 80-20 story, the Pareto principle. Focus on the 20%. I do that every morning. What are my first three things? Guess what was top of the list? This webinar. So let's see, Edison. Oh, I said Einstein. Oh, look, I'm getting my wonderful genius inventors mixed up. You're quite right, Tony. KFC, I mean, oh, the colonel went off and used to sleep in his car while he was going around trying to sell his recipe. He went to loads of places. They said, no, no, no. He kept going. Look at it now. It's a global organization. So sometimes it's not about giving up on yourself or your dream or your vision. It's about saying, I'm going to keep going, but I want you to keep going and taking the steps that will move you further forward, easier, smoother, you know, wonderful. Pillar number one, pillar number one's really important. And Tony, I know you so well. I know you so well. Yes. And as an accountant, again, now here's the thing. I give my financial checklist to accountants because I want them to give it free, completely free. I want them to give it to their clients because I do not want any accountant massively busy in January. That's ridiculous. It means that your clients aren't educated. So give them the checklist, get them to fill the dates in, work it with them. And honestly, some of this free stuff, give it to anybody, give it away, share it, tell other people about it, get them in the group, because it's in all of our interests for people to do well. I don't want to see anybody suffering. It's painful. I saw Andy almost in tears once when we were walking through a high street and shops were closing down and all sorts of things. And we knew what the problems were, but they would not invest in themselves to learn how to run a business. At the time, we were talking about something that was £97 a month, and it would have done their marketing for them. I had one client who used to get 50 calls a month just from the work that we did for them at the time. But we could also see if they were answering the phone or not. So let's help ourselves. Let's take this and fill your boots with it. And Tony, do share it with any clients or any other accountants that you know, because, you know, an accountant who's nearly having a nervous breakdown in January is no good to man nor beast, and certainly not to him or her or their family. Wonderful. Okay, so questions. Got any questions at all yet? Any questions? Oh, joy. I see so many people who've paid for things and they don't get results. Well, that causes more overwhelm. And that's why I keep it really simple. Get that first pillar straight, one step at a time, a step at a time, a week at a time. You can get anything and everything that you want, but you have to just take a small step. James Clear says it like his name very clearly. One step in the right direction, 1%, it makes a massive, massive difference. So questions. Sorry, you're having a problem with the audio, Ian. I'm hoping, you know, it might have been temporary. We've got some roadworks going on outside. I'm getting a new road outside. How lovely. Ian, I was from Action Coach, and he's great. He says, oh, I love it when people like you leave, because you leave for the right reasons. You want to get out there and do more stuff. But he actually said he wanted us to be part of his alumni, because a lot of people leave Action Coach because it doesn't work for them, because they don't make it work. They just go, oh, it didn't work. And I've seen some people put more into their alibi for why it didn't work than the effort that they could have put into just doing, you know, do what a coach tells you, and it works. If it's a good coach and you trust them and they're right, do what they tell you. There's a meme: if at first you don't succeed, try doing what your coach told you to do. And that's what I do with my coaches as well, because, you know, I get uncomfortable about doing things at times too. We all need help. It's like everyone holding hands along the way. So teams, we're looking at that, ADHD. Yeah, I think, again, ADHD, I think people sometimes try and make it too complicated. We've got a member who actually has a coach who helps her with her ADHD issues, but she comes on and she's phenomenal at implementing, absolutely amazing. She was trying to run 3 or 4 different businesses, and I'm like, bloody hell, I wouldn't want to do all that, you know, keep it simple. Let's have a look. Significantly cheap, yes, absolutely. But we have the wealth of experience. We know what works. We've tested it out over decades with people. We've refined it. We've got a model that I've designed and created because I wanted it to be transparent, because there's too many people, and I was like this before, I couldn't invest. So I needed somebody to give me something that I could use quickly that would work. Then I could get to the point of investing. And since then, yes, I regularly invest in myself. And I do that so I can help members more and take the learning that's going on around the world from the top coaches, take that learning, distill it down and share it with you quickly and easily in layman's terms. So yeah, experience, you can't buy experience, but you can buy somebody else's experience by investing in it. But I say again, always doing something with it. If you do nothing after this day, you might have had a lovely time, and I hope you have, but it won't mean anything. Oh, that's interesting, Jack. Did you get that thing? Did you see the thing, Jack, about the links to the free resource downloads from Alison? And Alison, have you managed to get that sorted yet?
Yeah, I've replied. I said I'll send it in the email after.
Excellent. Naomi, oh, bless Naomi for saying that. She's been great. She's just gone, I'm stunned at how much is in it. You know, you don't really give people an idea of how much is in. It's working for me. Okay. Who's Kent Rhodes? Sounds so like Kent Rhodes. I don't know. I want to know who he is now. Tell me about him, Ian. You on here? If you're on, unmute yourself and tell me who he is, because I'm really curious. We've still got lots of people on. Oh, he was an action coach. Ah, well, I got a lot of stuff from Brad. I got a lot of stuff in 1997. I set up my business. I didn't meet Brad until 2003 when I met Andy. And I remember Andy saying to me, oh, this is great, nobody else is saying this. And I was showing in my library going, well, there's Zig Ziglar, there's Jim Rohn, there's Norman Vincent Peale, there's W. Clement Stone. There are all these greats from years ago. And there's Tony Robbins, who I've been following since I think it was the 80s. Yeah, it must be the 80s. So there are loads of different people. And I think sometimes there is a universal truth that will come through. And I think it is about sharing the universal truths. I like to do it quite generously because I have also, I'll be honest with you, I've picked up business where people have said to me, well, you gave me stuff, whereas a lot of other people said, you know, oh no, well, if you haven't signed up by a certain date or time, the reason I closed the membership on the 30th is so we can go through the courses together. It's not scarcity, it's not anything, it's just a practical logistical. If somebody comes into the program with us, I want to get you into the 90-day planning flow and rhythm. And I can't do that if I'm having people join at different times. I want a nice, consistent, smooth experience for people. You've got enough overwhelm going on out there. And when I do the challenge, I never take the challenge down. I leave the challenge up until I do the next one, because I know I have people say, oh, I couldn't make the 5-day challenge, but I am going to go back in and dip in and do it with a friend of mine. We're doing it together and we'll do it a day at a time. If you don't even know what the 5-day challenge is, you can have a look in the 90-day planning group under guides. Now, we've still got lots of people on. So I am guessing that you're here because you want to know more about either option and what's right for you. What help do you need around what we've talked about today? What help do you need? How can I help to explain and clarify anything for you? Thank you, Kate. Great to have you here. Okay, so this is the point where some people have to go. They don't want to ask questions. They just want to sit and listen and hear what everybody else is asking. Who's going to be bold and ask questions? Alan, you've done that before now. You've literally asked several questions, which is great. So who wants to ask me anything? Unmute yourself and tell me now, because otherwise I'll go. But literally, I'm expecting to answer questions. What is it you need to help you move forward? I could do a countdown, but if nobody's going to say anything, and it's lovely, thank you, brilliant as ever, lovely, that's nice. What are you going to do about it? What will you do? Tell me what your actions are. But isn't this funny? This is where you get people who they don't want to ask their questions. They will listen to everybody else's, but suddenly they start to get a bit nervous or edgy. And that's why, for me, community is really important, because if you know you're in a safe place, you can ask the questions. So tell me what your questions are, and I'm going to give you my best solutions. Or if there are no questions, then I'll assume that you need to go away and you need to look at the links that I've given you, look at the 90-day planning and look at the free resources. You'll get the free resources, and join the free Facebook group if you're not already in it. You can get all of those things, but will you implement them? Will you implement them? Will you mean to, or will life get in the way? And we find this regularly. People who joined on the 5-day challenge, oh, I haven't finished it, but I'll get back to it. Life gets in the way, and then another quarter's gone. And each quarter comes around so quickly. So I'm looking for the people who literally say, I need some help with my business and it's this, or I need some more clarity. Ask now, say something, or nervous, like, don't be nervous, honestly, do not be nervous. And we've always got work to do, but tell me what will help you now. You don't have to go on video if you don't want to. And apply the method. Great. Will you apply the method by downloading the key downloads and getting on with them? Will you join? What is it you want to do? Again, I'm getting direct messages, although what I want is messages to everybody, because then you can see messages to all, everybody sees them, and they might be thinking, yeah, I'm the same. But don't be shy. You have got a business coach here with tons of experience, decades of experience. If you don't ask me a question now, then you're crazy. What are you here for? What are you here for? Tell me. Or I'll go, but I don't want to go if you've got unanswered questions that you're thinking, I need to know more about this. What is it you need to know? Or is there anything anybody wants to say about what they've particularly got from that session? That would be really helpful for me to hear. I don't want praise. I don't want, oh, that was great, or it was brilliant. I want to know, what have you got from it that you're going to take away and use? And I know there's certainly one person I'm looking at who will always take stuff away and use it. And you know who you are, Kirsty. Do you want to say anything about what you're going to take away and use?
Yeah, I've been a member of the 90-day planning for just under 2 years now, and I've found it amazing. I felt before I started, when you're starting a business, it's firefighting all the time. I love the structure of the 10-box model. You know, it really helps me to get clarity on where I am and what I need to do. And a lot of the times I'll turn up every fortnight and I'll say to Mary, oh, I've got this problem with such and such. And I saw she used it in the presentation about the proposals. I said, oh my God, I don't know how to do sales. So I've got to put this proposal together. Can you help me? And we went through it in one of the sessions, and it was brilliant. Really nailed what I needed to do. And as she says, I'm consistently winning business from that now.
Do you know what I love about it, though, is then we got you on one of the members' calls as somebody who'd taken something, implemented it, how you did it, and you shared it with the other members as well. So you gave a very specific set of examples as to, you know, how easy it was to look at things, to take a template, to change it, to personalize it, you know, and the fact that your clients are saying you're head and shoulders above everybody else. Well, I mean, how does that make you feel?
It was so easy to do. And instead of, I was approaching it very much like a CV where they say, keep it to 2 pages. You know, they're inundated with applications for jobs. But of course, you're not applying for a job. Make it easy for people. So now my proposals are 9 or 10 pages, but it includes everything that the customer might want. Instead of saying, oh, you can see more details on my website, I put it in there. So some people want to look at lots of detail, and some people just want the headline summary. So there's a 1-page summary at the front, and then all the information is referenced behind it, so they can just stay in the one document.
And it's about understanding people, isn't it, which we look at in the team area, because it's all very well recruiting, onboarding people, but when you're interacting with people on a day-to-day basis, it's understanding where they're coming from and what their communication style is. And it's really quite simple to work out, do they want detail or do they just want high level, you know, overview? And I think by communicating with them in the right way, 2 questions will do it. 2 questions, really simple questions. You know, are you fast-paced and outgoing, or are you slower and more thoughtful and considered? That's one question. Are you more task-focused or more people-focused? Is it about making sure the team are okay, or is it about getting the job done? Which matters? And I know that sounds ridiculously easy, but that's going to give you an idea of, oh, it's all about the people for me. Well, don't tell them about the task stuff without talking about how it impacts on the people. If they're outgoing and fast-paced, don't try and go through detail with them. If they are detail-oriented and slower and more thoughtful, not that the fast-paced people aren't, but they're more thoughtful in terms of analysing, give them the detail they want. 2 questions. None of this is hard. None of this is hard. So Dan and Sian came to find out before you start, like the structure, need to start at the beginning. Well, everything works in tandem, and the 9 box and 10 box, if you fit number 10 over it per personal, that's this, you know, is this for me? Is this what I want? That's your personal thing. When you're looking at it, then those 9 and 10 box, the 10th box for personal, it's all about looking, saying, well, if I do this, it's going to impact on this and impact on that and impact on that. And that's where I want to help you. For those of you it's right for, I want you to come inside the membership and have the same sort of experience that people like Kirsty have and some of the people you've seen. Get the results, have a laugh, put some fun back into your business, do more horse riding, and all of that kind of stuff. So thank you, Kirsty. And again, you're a joy because you ask questions, you get the answers, you go away and put them into practice, and you get the results. It's almost like magic if it wasn't so easy.
Exactly. It feels really easy, but I think I've said it on a session before. It's almost like now that I'm planning, I can see into the future. I can predict 3-6 months ahead, which I never could before. It's like looking up over the parapet.
And is that because of the Stairway to Heaven, or
I think so, because that's giving me then the small steps I need to do. I know where I'm going and I know where I am on that journey.
Yeah. And chunking it down means that you really have got a simple 3-month window. And if something else you want to do it, put it in your next one, put it on a list somewhere so that when you're writing your next one, we do it every quarter, put it on your list so that you go, is it in this quarter's? And after it's been on your list for a couple of quarters, like mine was with my default diary, after a while you think, I think I might be getting in my own way here. And so many people get in their own way. Fear, uncertainty, all of those things, loneliness, not knowing how to do it. If you've not studied business, and even if you've studied business with some people, is it practical? Is it the theory of business or the practical? Well, we've got a bit of both and a lot of practical. So who's got a question for me? Somebody surely got a question. Kitty, how about you? Have you got a question for me? Is there anything that would really help you now to know an answer to, or to explore in a bit more detail? Feel free to unmute or put your videos on, anybody. This is the chat. This is where we explore. We've got very shy people on today. And my dilemma is, I can go, I've got tons of stuff to do, but I've blocked out this time for you. And normally people are on asking question after question after question. So I'm wondering why I'm not being asked questions. Have I filled your brain up too much? Kirsty, how does it sound to you? Should people be asking questions, or do you think I've just given them too much?
I really don't know. I mean, I get so much value, and the silliest question that I can ask, and all of a sudden I get 10 minutes of value back from you. It's great.
How it works, isn't it? So yeah. I understand that some people might be a bit shy of doing that, but Bill, Tony, Gareth, Kitty, George, Ian, seriously, I'm here. Use me, take advantage. What can I help you with? Because if I don't get a question, I will just go, but that seems like a wasted opportunity for you guys to me. Do you really want to waste the opportunity? Get some free help. Oh, Ian, multitasking. Oh, lovely. Multitasking. Look up context switching and see why it's not a great idea. I used to do a lot of multitasking, but now I go, I am here, I am focused, and that's it. So not at the moment. Okay, very insightful. That's fine. And again, if people are nervous about it, that's okay. But this is where I literally schedule my time each quarter to stay on to answer any and all questions. And it's just amazing. I'm getting off very lightly here. Way too lightly for my liking. Anybody got anything they want to say? I'm going to call it now. I'm going to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 in a minute. And if nobody puts anything in the chat, I'm going to call the meeting to an end and say, go and make your decisions and see which option you want to go for. Do you want to do what you've always done? Do you want to do your best and do it yourself and go the lonely route? Or do you want to get in and learn from what works and see other people doing it, and have that great community of people saying, yeah, this does work. It's great. Look what it's done for me. So questions. I'm going to go 5. Nobody answers. I'm going to call it a day. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you for your time. And I hope people are not on, but they've just gone off and done something else because they are multitasking. Not a great idea. If you're, Nigel Risner, a friend of mine, always says, if you're in the room, be in the room. But I wish you well, and I hope to see you inside one or both of the 90-day groups. Thank you very much. And Kirsty, as always, thank you, because you are the master of engagement, participating, and surprisingly, or not at all, getting better results. So may that continue. Thanks, you.
Mary. Have a good week.
Bye. You too. And thank you for everybody else who's on here. If you are still there, if you're not, fine. I'm going to call it a day. Thank you and bye.